Hey, good evening, everybody. Monday evening. I think this may be the first time I've ever done a live stream on a Monday evening. Kind of feels the same as any other live stream, but here I am. And the backdrop for today is definitely different. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have to be very careful tonight. I know not everybody that's a member of this community shares many of our and my political persuasion, and I'm going to hope that we are all open-minded enough, let's put it that way, to not let that get involved with the admiration and just love we have for each other. Politics and religion are always divisive and better ignored, but for so many of us, even many of us who are open-minded, willing to give the benefit of the doubt, are not sore losers. This day has some special meaning for us. I think, and to start this off on maybe a little serious note, a little common sense and reality type thinking, I want to take you back 4 years ago on the evening of Joe Biden's inauguration, about how I felt. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy that Donald Trump lost the election. I thought he'd done a great job in office. I had done enough research and have enough sense of reality and truth to know that all the stuff they threw at him could not possibly have been true. I've been following his career ever since he first wrote his first book, The Art of the Deal. I greatly admired the man. He didn't let me down not 1 minute when he was in office. And I have an open mind about these things. So I was disappointed 4 years ago after the inauguration and all of the gloating and backslapping and everything. I was convinced that some nefarious things had gone on, but so many people today on the other side are convinced that there were nefarious things going on in this election. If you don't believe me, just tune in to CNN or MSNBC, and you'll hear a nonstop stream of them, even going so far as to say when Elon had his hand out waving like that, that he was a Nazi, and that was a Nazi salute. That's horrible. Come on, people, grow up. Grow up. Get over it. But 4 years ago, and I thought about this a lot today, because I thought about how many of you who are here tonight might just feel the way I felt 4 years ago. Some of you may be angry. Some of you may be panicked. Panicked that this is the end. I mean, they're already, let the guy have 1 day at least before you come back with the attacks and all that stuff. They're already, AOC today has already started screaming that this is going to be an authoritarian regime. We already know what we're going to get. We had it for 4 years already. This is not an unknown. But 4 years ago, I said, kind of calmly to myself, well, I'm disappointed. I never thought much of Joe Biden. I followed his career too. I thought he was a little slimy in some areas. But I said, I'll withhold my judgment for a while and let me see what happens. And I watched. And I watched with an open mind. I watched, giving him the benefit of the doubt whenever I could. And 1 year and 2 years and 3 years and 4 years went by. I saw our country going to hell. I saw movements to convert our little children to get... I mean, it's too sick to even talk about what they've done in the name of gender identity and wokeness and all of those other radical things that just don't make any sense. I watched our country get flooded by immigrants. I watched them spend my tax money flying those immigrants and settling them all over the country, disrupting life, bringing crime, chaos, putting them up in expensive hotels, while American veterans were homeless on the sidewalks outside. I watched this stuff, and I still tried to give them benefit of the doubt. Then I watched his health and mental capacity decline. And believe me, I recognize the signs. It doesn't take much when I look at somebody. I know when dementia is setting in. I've had personal experience with people in my life and family who've gone through that. I know the signs. They're not really that subtle. And then I began to wonder, well, this man surely cannot be running this country. Maybe the vice president's running the country. So I started looking at her and pretty quickly decided, no, there's no way she could run this country. So I decided that 3/4 of the way into the last administration that it was the people in government, the unelected officials, the people at the heads of all these different agencies, the cabinet members that he appointed that weren't elected, that were indeed running things. And old Joe just, went to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, got up in the morning, and walked into the sat behind his desk. But I didn't see a thing from him. So I was pretty well convinced, as evidently were a lot of Americans, that somebody's been pulling the wool over our eyes, aided by the media and all the propaganda and the lawfare and everything else. And yeah, like a lot of people, I got a little angry at these people. This is my country and your country. I'm a patriot. I always have been. I served in the military. And I'm happy. I'm happy, and you may not be, but I'm happy that Donald Trump is back in the office. I sighed a sigh of relief a little after 12 p.m. this afternoon because, quite frankly, I didn't put anything past them. I fully accepted the reality that he might not make it alive until noon today. That's how real I think the threats are against that man, and I hope that they keep him safe. I think genuinely is a good man that has America at heart and the best interest of we, the citizens, who put them there to represent us and our interests. I think he's a man who listens, and I think he's a man who thinks, and he's a smart guy. So I'm going to ask any of you, and I don't know how many of you there are, but I know a few of you because you've declared your side at one point or another. I'm going to ask you to follow in my footsteps. Relax. Accept the fact that I think this was a legitimate election, that it went the way it was supposed to go. There weren't many shenanigans, if any. And the people have decided, and I think we need to let some time go by. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to all of these new people that are coming into positions of responsibility. Let's do that. And let's watch and see. Keep our common sense, for God's sakes. Don't buy into the avalanche of bullshit that's going to come down from the sore losers who are losing power and money. And if you think it's anything other than the loss of their power and money gained by corruption, if you think it's anything other than their loss of power, money, I don't want to call anybody names, but I think you've either been hiding under a rock or born yesterday, my friends. And I know nobody in our community, in this community, was born yesterday or was hiding under a rock. But I think it would be so nice. It would be so nice to stop the noise and the patently absurd accusations they keep hurling at these people. Fascist, Nazi, Russian spy. Just stop. We are all supposed to be Americans. It seems like the only time we ever come together in this country is when there's some overwhelming national disaster like 9/11. But that wears off within days afterwards, and then the bullshit starts hurling back and forth again. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm going to tell you something that nobody knows, not even my children. Not even my children know. And I didn't want to tell anybody this because I didn't want them to think that I was crazy. For the past 3 months, 4 months, leading up to this election, I have been researching becoming an expatriate. Really. I've been looking into what it would take, how much it would cost, and whether I could do it legally to spend the rest of my life outside of this country, because I was convinced that this country had no future if the election went a certain way. So I was preparing for that. That's how deeply disturbed I was about the direction not only of woke culture, but of the invasion of our country with criminals. I mean, all of that stuff. Inflation just going out of sight. The heat we get here on YouTube in our community, demonizing red meat and all that stuff. The untruths that reign in this country that are causing the destruction. Ideally, I could have found a country that was slightly old-fashioned in its diet, like Argentina or something. It might, I don't know. I don't know if that would be a great place to live, but at least they eat well. They have real cows raised properly on good land. They have a better shot at health than any of us do here in this country. Some of the Oriental countries, the Philippines, Thailand. There's so many places that expatriates run to. I can understand now why some of them run. Needless to say, that was a moot point. I'm not going anywhere now. For the first time since the pandemic, I actually think my attitude about our life and our future in this country is actually turning positive and a little optimistic, as long as the crazies can keep it down and not do something stupid and destroy everything for the rest of us because they're throwing a tantrum. because somebody took their power and all that corrupt money they were earning away from them. It's an important day, my friends. It's an important day. I don't want to lose any friends because of this. So to those of you who were disappointed in the election results, I understand. I mean, most of us on this side were there 4 years ago. And I think we handled it. We handled it properly. We handled it with dignity. We gave them a chance. They failed. It's on them. It's not on us. People fail. People aren't up to the job sometimes. People take a job for the wrong reasons sometimes. So we still love all of you regardless of what they say, your race, creed, color, religion, sexual identity, you name it. You name it. You're a carnivore human being. That's all we need to know. That means you're smart and you have common sense and you do have a grasp of reality. And the people that I want to consider to be in my circle of friends have those qualities. Okay. I think at this point, if I played like Hail to the Chief in the background, I would be overdoing it. But I wanted to say that. I don't want to see any of the love that we have here in this community dwindle for any reason at any time. We're a great group of people, and I think we admire and respect each other. I want to keep it that way. We're like a family. And I brought out the Donald Trump coffee cup. This was the one I got in 2016. When they first came, this was one of the first cup that was really available when he ran in 2016. And I think my daughter or my son, one or the other, bought this for me back then. Because they knew I'd always admired the man. I'd always admired his business acumen and what he'd done. He was a producer and an achiever. He didn't spend 50 years of his life in various aspects of government, getting paid by the taxpayers, becoming a multi-millionaire on $100,000 a year salary, living in mansions. And yeah, no, they don't get that way on a government pay, on the government salary, believe me. So at any rate, all right, I went ahead and blew 15 minutes of it with that little speech of mine. I hope many of you agree with me. I'm surprised. Look, we have 147 people here tonight. Wow. Let me run in here real quick. And if you're anytime you think you guys get tired of seeing me in front of an American flag, and I remind you too much of Patton giving his speech, all you need to do is just say so, and I can get rid of it just like that. How about that? I'll leave it off for a while. Let some fresh air in through the window, and maybe we'll put the flag up again a little later. But I thought it would be, I had no idea what I was going to say when I first started. It just all came out. I didn't write it down. It wasn't a speech or anything, just some thoughts rolling off. But I thought, wow, how Patton-like would it be to give that in front of an American flag? So, show business that this is. There you go. There you go. And this tastes really good, even though it's decaf. It's still great coffee. Okay, I see Lucy Stewart says, do not get rid of... Whoa. Sorry. There you go. Lucy, I just got scolded. In capital letters, do not get rid of it. The flag means too much. Thank you, dear. I agree with you. Okay, the flag stays. The flag stays. We got the flag. In the upper right-hand corner, we got the Mitch Fitz logo, thanks to Tammy, Kitchen Witch, and her husband. And the T-shirts should be going out pretty soon. We got a few orders for the T-shirts. Okay, after that moving speech that I gave, I'm so proud of myself. I'll put my Buy Me a Coffee link in the chat because I have to. I hate to, but I have to. At any rate, no pressure, but guys, if you appreciate what I do, if you enjoy being here and you want to help out, because Google certainly isn't, you could say thank you with a coffee for me, or not. I don't rate my friends, honestly. And I know so many of you are so generous, and I sometimes feel a little guilty how often you do that, but only if you want to. Thank you. All right, enough of that. Also, my Amazon links, if you can use them when you're buying stuff on Amazon, that helps, and it really doesn't cost you anything. So I appreciate that. And the more money I can dip into Jeff Bezos' profit, I'm happy to do it. He can afford it. But it's not that much. It really doesn't amount to all that much. All of it together. The little Amazon stuff, the little bit from Google, the Buy Me a Coffees, it just about makes it worthwhile doing. And I'm about to make a change in the amount of work that I do for my daughter, because it's time for me to start withdrawing from that rat race and the pressure and the time that it takes. And that's going to mean I'm going to be getting a little less money from that direction. So I am going to need to start actually getting more serious about YouTube and eventually turning YouTube into my actual full-time job and only way that I can actually earn enough to supplement my Social Security. And that's a big step too. But it's something I need to do for my own sanity these days. I won't get into details, but working for some big corporate clients sometimes at my age with the stupidity of their management gets unbearable. And, you know, if you were around a couple of weeks ago, you saw it when I was very flustered trying to please some of these people who don't even know what they want. So let's leave it at that for now. At any rate, I see FX Trader. Little super chat here. Thank you so much. The speech was excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. I had no idea. I don't even remember what I said. I'm going to have to watch the replay. I might even be impressed. You try this sometimes. Do a YouTube channel. Get on there on a live stream. Just start talking. And then after you're done, with some trepidation and nervousness, watch your own performance. And if you happen to impress even yourself, that makes you feel really happy. And I joke about it and I laugh about it and I say, wow, sometimes I impress even myself. But I'm serious. What I say to you, when I go off on these spontaneous things, I am almost bypassing my conscious brain and turning that animal mind loose. And somehow it knows how to work the muscles. And it makes things come out that, even to my surprise, actually makes sense. I imagine that's how great authors manage to write books, because where else would all this stuff come from? It has to come from somewhere, if it's spontaneous at all. Because most people can't think that fast consciously. Anyway, it's interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon. I try to take advantage of it when I can. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself too often. All right, what I want to do here is real quick to just start saying hi to some of you people. We have, put questions in the chat if you want. I'm going to put a link in the chat here in a little while. I don't want to do a big, long, full-time panel tonight. I want to do kind of a hit and run, come in for 5-10 minutes, say hi. Let me get back to answering questions and things. Thursday night on the private community, we have those big discussions. But, I would be nice to, and we're probably going to talk politics. No cigars tonight. I'm indoors. But, and in fact, I'm going to ask not to have anybody smoke cigars in this live stream. just as an experiment to see if maybe that's why they're deeming these live streams unfit for advertisers and demonetizing them. Just an experiment. I'm not smoking, so let's none of us smoke tonight. We don't need to smoke, and let's see if it was the cigars that triggered that. I don't know, but I'm willing to try anything. First one in, Tuukka in Finland. Hiya, Tuukka. Boy, it's getting late for you over there, but good to see you. You've been known to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was this afternoon he came in, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tweet and Pearl was in the afternoon. Boyd Lambs. Boyd loved Trump's speech. And I know I'm going to get a lot of political comment in here, and it's okay. Tonight it's a politics-free zone. If you want to come in here and tell us why you don't like Trump, that's okay too. I'd rather you didn't, because I'm going to try to keep this positive. But there's no censorship here. Not in the old guy's house, that's for sure. And Nikki W. came in. Lewis L. came in. Mike Seeley Sr., Sandy Blythe, Tina Swikerath. How you doing? What an awesome day today. I have a funny feeling after getting to know you guys that most of us are probably conservatives. I think most of us are, but not all of us are. And I don't want anybody to feel left out. I try very hard to make people okay with what they choose. If that's what you want and that's what you believe, I don't want to change your mind. That's why I don't try to change anybody's mind about diet who doesn't want to do it, or try to go out there on a crusade to convert vegans, or make fun of vegans in videos to make them look stupid. If we don't know that being a vegan is not good for you by now, then we're really missing out on something here and need to maybe learn a little bit more about plant toxins and things like that. Scotter's here. How you doing? Good to see you. CB Carmack checked in. Good evening, patriots and allies. We are the Mitchfits. Yes, we are. Says so up in the corner. And Mike Seeley Jr.'s here. How you doing? Richard Williams chimed in at what time was that, Richard? 6:32. And Steve McAvoy from South Carolina. Hiya, Steve. How you doing? Steve Studley says, congratulations on the win. Thank you, Steve. Jerry Voitush from Ponte Vedra Beach. A great day, he says. Tanya's here. Great day indeed here in Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Aunt B is here. How you doing, Aunt B? Good to see you. Hugs to all. Thomas is here. I just wanted to say hello to Mitch and all the other Mitch Fits and the lovely Mitch Etz. Oh, I now have Mitch Etz. Thank you, Thomas. Sandra McDonald, how you doing? It's over there. It's tomorrow. She's coming to us from the future in Australia. Hiya, Sandra. How are you? How are you? Rick, Miami Charger Mopar. I said hello. Lori's here. Hiya, Lori. How you doing? Northside Hawks with us. Paul Berkey. Still haven't gotten to 7 yet. Laurie likes that. Mitch Etz. Yeah, that's great. Doramere chimed back in, says, hey, folks. And you're right, Steve says, are you live? My TV says 4 minutes. Yeah, I start that 5-minute countdown generally when I'm here in my studio, so you can get to see my setup while I make sure everything's working okay. And give people a chance to actually start coming in because they're notified that it's live. So by the time 7 o'clock gets around, I've, got more people than I normally would if I had only done that 30-second countdown like I do in the morning. Aaron is here. Booby Goats, how you doing? Good to see you. Ketamore Candy. Hi, Candy. How are you? And Juan Miguel. Hey, Juan. Haven't seen you in a few days. Good to see you. Buenos noches. To you, too. Josephine C. is here. Edward Renner is here. Less Junk, More Health's with us. North Woods Trains. How you doing? Happy MAGA Day. Yes, sir. Who else? You know what? It got warm in here. Excuse me while I take this knit hat off. Give you a chance to see this lovely, beautiful, bald head that I got here, which you don't get to see very often anymore because you still recognize me. You don't get to see this anymore because it's cold all the time. But in here in the house, it's with the lights and everything. It's got, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. It got warm. So hey, that feels good. Wow, look at that. I hardly recognize myself. Where were we? Where were we? A lot of chatting going on. Sandy Blythe, did I say hi to you? Maybe, but there you are again. Marguerite Dawson, I watched all day Happy Mega Day. I did too. I watched it, the whole entire thing. I took the day off. I watched the inauguration, all the festivities afterwards. I just relaxed. It was great. Mark, you are so right. You are so right. That's the way I feel exactly. That we have replanted the American flag as you would in a country that you just took back in a war, because that's what it's been. Ellen chimed in just a few minutes ago and says, hey, the communist regime was just upended by the flag. Atta girl. Atta girl. Muyini's here. How you doing, Muyini? Hi, everyone. What a great day. MAGA greetings from the Netherlands. I'm glad you're happy. I think the United States of America wasn't the only place on earth that's better off today than it was yesterday. Believe me. Believe me. I'm happy for you. All American will be much better. Thank you. But for us in Europe, we'll get higher inflation. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I think the whole world will be a lot safer. Let's wait and see. Let it play out. Hopefully there won't be too much interference. They won't be filing tens of thousands of lawsuits to try to stop everything that anybody tries to do, so it can take 2 to 5 years to play out in the courts and never happen. And then there's no change. And then they say, see, he didn't do anything. It's a sick game. It is a sick game. Who else we got? We are at 6:59. Well, I'm just about getting to 7 o'clock. Holy cow. Holy cow. The winner at ding, ding, ding at 7 p.m. The winner was Lori. Congratulations, sweetie. You're the winner. I always say I don't know what that means, but wear it proudly. You're first in. Francine. Hiya, Francine Bourgeois. Good evening, all. Good to see you. Susan Ivy. Thanks for coming in. And let's go a little bit further down here and see. Jerry says, perfect, Mitch. I hadn't started my speech yet, so I don't. Steve Studley, everybody's talking back and forth. Danny in Boston. Hiya, Danny. How you doing? Earhart. How you doing? I watched the parade. It was great. Yeah, all the festivities were great. I worked. It just came off beautifully, and the particular woman that actually was in charge of the whole event, I don't know her name, but she was a Democrat, so good on you. You did a great job. In any group of people, there are people with differing opinions, but there are always extremists and radicals that number very few, but screw up the world for everybody else that just wants to live their life. And if they have differences, let's talk about it. Like Iran, we are all told that the country of Iran is so bad and so mean and so nasty and wants to nuke us all and wants to do this and wants to do that. Any of you ever met just a plain old Iranian citizen? I've known many of them, especially when I was in the technology business. They're just great people. They have lives and kids and families, and they go to restaurants, and they want peace, and they're just like us. But they got this radical leadership that screws everything up. So I don't necessarily hate everybody that says I'm a Democrat. Some of my best friends, some of the people I've known in my life that I admire the most, were not right-wing people. They weren't radical left-wing either. But they did vote Democrat. And it used to be, way back, that we had a few good Democrat presidents. They're nothing like today. In fact, today, these people that used to be Democrats would be considered right-wing extremists almost, with the way it's all shifted to that radical stuff. Anyway, now you know what happens when you get Mitch started on politics. Something I try very consciously to avoid every day. Claudia Burkick, how you doing? Good to see you. And okay, if you have any, retired Rick's here, if you have any questions. Yeah, Ernie, you're absolutely right. CNN said Elon made a Nazi sign, and all it was a from my heart sign. Those people are despicable. They're beyond reproach. Beyond saving. They are horrible, horrible, horrible human beings. Certainly not the kind of people that deserve national attention like they do as news anchors. And I think they're finally, with the lawsuits they're losing for defamation, and they are losing some big lawsuits these days, and the drop in their ratings so dramatically that hopefully they'll quietly slink away in the night, never to be heard from again. We can only hope. But somehow, just like cockroaches, you can't kill them. My son and I have a running joke, and he showed me a meme the other day. He says, when all life on Earth is dead, and there'll only be two kinds of living things left on the planet. Two living, there'll be cockroaches and Keith Richards. I won't explain that to you if you don't get it. Barb Stoke watched the CNN feed and was so pleased. What a breath of fresh air. The CNN feed? And sign those orders. I don't think you meant the CNN feed. I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't want to touch it. Sign those orders. Yes, I agree with that. I watched him. I watched a replay of him signing the orders, appointing the cabinet and all those other high-level appointment positions, but I didn't get to see him sign any of the orders, if he has yet, even closing our border and doing that other kind of stuff, and declaring that the federal government recognized only two genders, male and female. Little things like that. Princess Mama's here. How you doing, Princess? As you can tell, I have no plans for the format of this thing tonight. Let me take, wow, here's a cool name. Gang members of Vinny from the Hood. You know where you at, homie. Oh, man, Vinny from the Hood. Thank you, Vinny. Oh, man. Man, I had some friends growing up named Vinny. They were Italians from Philadelphia. They were honest to God. They were made in the mold of the Fonz himself. But they were great guys. I went to high school with them. He says here, real gang, watch my channel. All right, Vinny, we'll watch your channel. Thanks, man. Are you a carnivore? If you're not, watch my channel. And thanks for paying us a visit. Patty Molden's here. How you doing, Patty? Good to see you. Anybody else new? CB. Hey, CB. How you doing? Trump's speech was epic. I'm telling you what. Even I was a little shocked at. And the amazing thing was, if you were watching this, here's a little commentary. I'm sure so many of you noticed this. Right behind him, he had Joe Biden and Kamala. And he was tearing them a new one in that speech. I mean, he didn't hold back. He said things that needed to be said, but I think there's probably some people to think that maybe he could have shown a little more tact and grace. I'm kind of glad he didn't, because what they tried to do, I am amazed at his restraint after what they tried to do to him and his family. They tried to put his children in jail, for God's sakes, for fraudulent reasons. They tried to kill him. I understand that the saying, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. I understand what that means, but if I was Donald Trump, that would be, being a human being, it would be tough to exercise restraint and not go after those people with every means possible. So I can understand that that probably felt very good for him, and it was probably very therapeutic for him to basically look them right in the eyes and tell them how despicable they are. And in that respect, I was loving every minute of it. And people were getting up and they were giving him standing ovations. Did you see that? They were giving him standing ovations. And Biden and Kamala only stood once and applauded. Something that even then surprised me. Did any of you notice, and I know you'll answer this, that I'll see in the chat 40 minutes from now, but did any of you notice what it was that Trump said that Biden and Kamala stood and applauded for? I'll tell you what, I will watch the chat right now. I mean, I'll be watching the current chat. So if anybody knows what Biden and Kamala actually stood and applauded that Trump said in his speech, you got it, Princess Mom. You got it. Absolutely. When he said that Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages, Joe Biden and Kamala sprung out of their chair and started applauding, because they think that they were responsible for getting those hostages released. They're that arrogant and stupid that with all the time, with the over a year and some that we've been at war, 15 months that those hostages have been in custody, and they did nothing except stoke the flames. And Trump gets elected, and a week ago, Trump says to them, if those hostages are not released by the day I am sworn into office, all hell will rain down upon you. And they started releasing hostages. And Biden is taking credit for that. Anybody believe that it was Biden's efforts that got those hostages or Trump's threat? See, that's the beauty of a guy like Trump. He keeps you guessing. You never know what he's likely to do. He doesn't telegraph his moves. He doesn't tell reporters what he's going to do. That's part of how you make deals and how you negotiate. If all your cards are on the table, how are you going to play out the hand? That was the only time Biden stood up. Incredible. Incredible. So maybe he's just so far gone that he actually held his head high, walked out of the White House saying, they loved me. I was a great president. And if he wants to believe that for the rest of his life, more power to him. I don't wish him any ill harm. Really. Just want him to go away. And there were times during the day when I was watching these speeches and when I was watching the inauguration, I found myself talking at the TV. And I thought, I should have recorded that. I should have put a camera on my face. It would have made a great comedy routine. Some of the things that I said at the TV when I know nobody else was listening, I think in retrospect were priceless. And some of them very funny. And some of them a little mean. A little mean. Sorry, I know. Little bit mean. Even an occasional 4-letter word got thrown in there. But, gotta say, hopefully no fool will throw a huge monkey wrench in the works of what we're going to try to embark on to get our country back to at least where it was 4 years ago. That'd be a great place to start. Gasoline below $2 a gallon. Decent food prices. No wars anywhere in the world. Remember? Middle East peace accord. We were managing North Korea. We were managing Vladimir Putin. We had China under control. We were getting tariffs like crazy from them. Our country was making money. That was only 4 years ago. Then COVID came along, and of course Joe Biden pardoned Anthony Fauci today. In the last hour or two of his presidency, managed to pardon the whole January 6th committee, Anthony Fauci, Milley, the general. I mean, he pardoned everybody. Just in case. I think Donald Trump's got better things to do and enough work to keep him busy with his agenda than spending full time going after who used to be his political enemies. That's what they do, unfortunately, or that's what they did for 4 years. Instead of spending time trying to do positive things for the American people. I don't get it. You'd think these people hated America. Everything they did was destructive. But remember, 4 years ago, I told you, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I really did. I really did. Oh, somebody bought me a coffee. Look at that. Look at that. Jerry Voitush. Thank you, my friend. Bought me 3 coffees. Bought me 3 coffees, Jerry. It's a great day. Wow, thank you, Jerry. Says, great monologue tonight. Thank you. Didn't start out as a monologue. It just started. I don't know where the hell it came from. I'm kind of curious to see what I said and watch it. The president's speech was pretty darn good, too. Yeah, there's only one difference between me and the president is he had a teleprompter. I had no friggin' idea what was going to come out of my mouth. But I have fun doing that. I love to just let it come out. So I'm glad you liked it. Thank you, Jerry. And last but not least, Deborah Wisegal bought me a coffee. Thank you. She didn't leave me a message, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that so much. I'm going to put the link back up there for those of you that maybe missed it. Okay, guys, I'll tell you what. Let me put a link in, and we'll start bringing a couple of people in here. I don't really see tonight as a carnivore question and answer. This is a celebration of what I hope is the rebirth of this country again, of American spirit, of patriotism, of being proud of our country, looking out for each other, not just the way it's been going, like, how much can I get for me? We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I see some questions. Ellen asked a question. Steve Studley asked you a question and asked me to get your attention. Okay, you got my attention, but I don't know where the hell Steve Studley's question is, because Claudia Burkick says, can Trump serve another term after this one? I don't think he can. Although I've heard some constitutional arguments, because the wording, like most things in the Constitution, can be interpreted any number of ways. And a lot of times when they try to interpret the Constitution, they can't interpret it just from what's written in the Constitution. They have to start digging into the Federalist Papers, which are basically all the notes and things that the framers of the Constitution made when they were dreaming up the Constitution. The word consecutive plays into that, and that's where the rub is. Some people say that the law says you can't serve any more than 2 consecutive terms. Well, that makes all the difference. Because if that's true, he could serve another term after this one, because this one and the last one were not consecutive. So that's going to be a matter for great debate. I don't know if that's settled, if they settled that yet, or anybody has any idea. But that's what that's all about. Let me see if I can find Steve Studley's question, and then I'll see if we can get a couple of my friends in here, and a few women too. A few women maybe tonight. I don't see Steve Studley's question, so there's a lot of chat going on here. We've got 135 people still. I don't want to make this a 2-hour live stream tonight. I'm a little tired after today. Steve McAvoy says after I sign off, he's going to go watch CNN for some giggles. I like that. Steve, I don't know where your question was. If I don't get to it tonight, shoot it to me in the morning. I will be here. I will be here in the morning. Lori says, Mitch, are you celebrating with carnivore champagne tonight? Certainly am. Yes, sir. San Pellegrino. Yes, ma'am. A little carnivore champagne. After a day of bacon, eggs, and ground beef, that's what I had today. Whoa! Frank M bought me a coffee. Most of the Democrats never clapped. Oh, of course not, Frank. They sit there on their hands. Of course they do. They would never clap for anything. I mean, you got to give them one thing. Man, they stick together, don't they? It's like none of them has an individual thought in the group. They are groupthink. Groupthink, the epitome of groupthink. I don't know. I'm not a fan. That's all I can say. I've been watching them for years. It just keeps getting worse. And this last 4 years, if you'll pardon the pun, and I'm sorry, fellas, if any of you believe this, they showed their ass is what they did finally. And that's what it finally takes to wake people up. Things have to get so absurd that people go, wait, what? What? And divert their attention away from professional sports for a few minutes and Hollywood celebrities. No, it's just gotten sick and crazy. And this country would not have survived another 4 years of anything like this. So I thought 2016 was the election that saved this country. That wasn't even close to this election. Not even close. Not even close in importance. Oh, I was going to get the link for you guys. I'm getting a little punchy myself. Been at it since 4 o'clock this morning. All righty, here we go. Put the link in the chat. Come on in and say hello. Come on in and say hello. Celebrate a little with me. Yes, I still have some hot coffee here. Peter, hiya, Peter. Peter says America was saved today. Peter, you are 100% correct. That's beyond a true statement. And it's good to see Ellen in here. Good to see Ellen. CB Carmack. He says, do you think that piece of glass in front of Trump's head during the speech was bulletproof? You mean the teleprompter? Do you mean the teleprompter? I don't think it is. I don't think he had any glass in front of him other than the teleprompter. They have one on each side, you know. Maybe I think you're being facetious with that question. But I see Tina. Tina is here. Tina's here in the green room to say hello to us. Okay, let me bring Tina in and we'll say hi. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Mitch.
How are you?
What a great day.
Oh, good. I didn't think you were one of them, but and going to come in here and rank me down.
Oh, no, baby. Let me tell you something. Our whole family, just phenomenal day. Just unbelievable what they put that guy through and his family through. And every time you say something about your past, it just kind of freaks me out, because back in 1986, when I got into the car business, the first class that Ford Motor Company sent me to in Detroit, the guy who was running the class, which was about a 3 or 4 day, it's been 30 some years ago now, but 3 or 4 day class, and it was based on The Art of the Deal.
Yeah.
By Donald Trump. And that was as a young, like 28, 29-year-old person, that was my first experience with Donald Trump, and adored that book. It helped me make money in the car business. And I followed his career from there on. If he was on the front of a magazine, I bought the magazine. If he was in the newspaper, I bought the newspaper. I mean, he just was somebody that I idolized.
I've always admired him my whole life. Listen, we got other people. We got people coming in. Imagine that. We got company. So I don't mean to cut you short.
No,
but,
that's fine.
And I don't want you to go away. I just want to bring the other people in. We can have a nice conversation. Yeah, I don't want you to go away.
Okay.
No, not at all.
You're the boss.
Yeah, well, that's what they tell me. But you know, I don't know what I don't know what I'm the boss of. But okay.
Us misfits and now Mitchette.
Yeah. Hey, look at us with American flags. Look at Lewis.
No,
hey.
I was going to be fancy with my American flag, but then there you are.
Well, yours is waving a little more than mine.
Yeah.
It must be windier where you are.
Definitely is colder, Mitch. Definitely is colder.
I'll bet. Well, that's great. That's great. Good to see you, Lewis. And
yes,
we have, believe it or not, another female with us tonight. Yes. We have Carnivore Candy. Carnivore Candy.
I have been watching all your videos. You are hilarious.
Thanks, Lewis.
I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity.
Wow. Okay. I'll see you later. Hey, Candy, can you pitch in for a little while here? Let me take a break. You know.
No, she's so funny. Her videos. You made something that was it the waffles? It was like they came out terrible.
Yeah, you had locked up there. Candy, you locked up. You froze up for a second. But you're okay now.
Okay. Okay. Everything's kind of freezing up.
It's the internet. It's the internet.
The wacky internet. Look, couldn't have you drinking alone, Mitch.
Nice.
Okay, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, thank you.
I'm
Everybody's got
getting
their.
I'm getting my supper ready for my carnivore pups.
Oh, okay, good for you.
So I got to multitask.
So how you been?
So what were you saying about that wacky waffle recipe? Ugh,
It was the funniest video.
was
It's the funniest video.
I tried.
Don't tell me I got to
that
start.
waffle
Do I have to start watching all your videos too? I only have so many hours in a day.
They're funny. They're good. Candy's very real.
All right,
Real.
I'll check them out. Always looking
Yeah.
for
They're
new
funny.
people
They're
to
good.
follow. Well, good to see both of you. Hang in there. Don't go anywhere. We're not. I have a couple more people that'll
All
kill me.
right.
That'll kill me if I don't let them. One of them is showing off his San Pellegrino as well.
Oh,
All right.
It's Peter. Hey, Peter, how you doing?
Look what
There
I
you go.
have.
Yeah,
big,
yours
the
is
big bottle.
mine.
I got
is,
a big bottle of carnivore champagne.
holy cow! Mine is almost empty, and
This is a 750 milliliter glass bottle, Mitch. Look at this baby.
I didn't
no
even know
expense.
I didn't even know they had them. Tell you the truth.
They make a full liter bottle.
Wow, I think these are okay. I don't worry about these.
Well,
The ones you
I'm
buy in a
celebrating.
case.
I'm celebrating because America was saved today.
Oh, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Yeah, thank God. Well, I'm glad to see we got a bunch of. I knew most of the people in our community were like-minded, but I also know that there are a few. And I'm not going to hold that against anybody, you know.
So I am a Democrat,
Okay, well, get the hell out.
and
No, I'm
I wanted to join. No, I wanted to come and tell you how much I appreciate just the way you are.
Thank you.
With you, and then, not that I give a shit if you said anything about whatever, but very, very inclusive and welcoming and stuff like that. So
Thank you.
and before I'm a Democrat, I'm also an American, so I definitely respect the President of the United States, and
Well, that's
I
good.
respect what took place today at noon. That the transfer of power, with so much tension in the air, is really it's an amazing thing.
No
It's an
doubt.
amazing thing.
No doubt. And yeah, that's what's important. The problem is that so many don't like America. They hate America. They want to change America. We don't want to change America. We want to get decent leaders in America, but I don't think any of us want to do away with the Constitution. Give up on being a democratic republic, not a democracy. There's a huge difference. And,
I think Pat Ramirez just said I have a mental disorder. Thank you,
Well,
Josephine.
I wouldn't worry about it. We love you.
I'm all good. I'm all good.
Listen. We love you, Lewis. We're gonna make
Yeah.
we're gonna make a conservative out of you. It's the
I will
last thing we do.
I will say that I definitely am more towards the center than really far left because of going carnivore and seeing the Democratic agenda, like the vegan agenda, and
Oh, you have to.
No.
Yeah, you recognize that. Plus, your
So-
brains work. Your brain's working better now.
yes, it's the ketones, right?
Yeah, and my parents were Democrats.
So
Mo-
were
Sure.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jewish from Philadelphia. There wasn't a Northeast Jew that wasn't a Democrat. I mean, you just didn't find. That's what Jews were. They were Democrats, but that was the Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy and previous.
Right.
It was not
right.
the radical, woke, liberal, gender crap nonsense that they're pushing on us
That's
today.
the extreme. It's the extreme. It's the extreme.
And
You
the
know, that's-
Republicans have extremes that I
They sure do.
I despise them just as
They
much.
are, but because they give everyone else, that's the fuel
Sure
that they
they
give
do.
everyone else.
And it's
you know?
it goes back to the old saying, one rotten apple.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Spoils the whole barrel. And that's certainly true where people are. Speaking of one rotten apple, here's Tuka. Hi, Tuka. How you doing? I hope you didn't hear
Hi,
that. I hope you
asshole.
didn't. Thank you very much.
Tuka identified himself as an independent earlier
An
today.
independent,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
In the
I
chat,
try
right.
to be independent, but I would say that I'm more conservative than on the left
On the left.
politically. But I try to keep myself independent and make my own
Open
opinion. So
to to both sides.
Yeah. Well, you know that in Europe, when you say you're in the middle, that means you're far right, because
yeah,
most of Europe is so far left that the middle is actually far right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you oppose NATO and if you oppose certain things, you are immediately on the far right. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't just at the moment the political situation here in Finland is we are practically, as a whole country, we are on the far left. We are in the extreme end of the far left,
Well,
especially what comes to the media. What comes to the media, but so you can't, and people seem to live in some kind of a bubble here. And
well, most of us.
if you
I was
form
going to say.
your own,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you form your own opinion and you say that you research, for example, I have 70 or 80 different sources. I try to pick up information daily, what's going on in the world. And here, most of the people have maybe 3, at most 4 different sources, which all say that Trump is evil or Chinese this and that or whatever they say. And okay, so you're saying that you're having information from three sources which all say the same thing, and I'm having 70 or 80 sources which I try to figure out that who is saying what, or is it true or not. And you're saying that I'm the brainwashed guy. So come on, please.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's why. Well,
Yeah.
so
But most of the Scandinavian countries are wildly socialist anyway. I would think, from what
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you do the best. You do the best you can, and in America, the best we can do lately has been to move to a red state somewhere. Move to Florida, move to Texas, move to Tennessee, move to Alabama. Move to a red state, and you're much better off. So, but hopefully, maybe some people will wake up and say, "Holy cow! Maybe all that stuff I heard about Trump was all bullshit, because it doesn't seem to be true. He's not. He's not a Nazi. He's not.
No.
Going in and shooting people in their offices. He's not doing any of those things. What he's doing is he's making the world behave itself, because he knows how to deal with these people. So we'll see." Wow, we are swimming in women tonight. Look who's here with a mouthful, chewing, children running all over the place, babies.
It's Aaron.
Oh my God, it's Aaron.
Hi, everybody.
She said she was eating in the chat, and then you said babies running around. I said, that's
Yeah,
Aaron.
holy cow. Oh my God.
Yes,
She's
she
got
is.
10 kids, right?
I do. That's how I knew it was Aaron.
Yeah.
There's just kids popping out everywhere over here.
Wow, all of a sudden I went from 6 to
You got kids
16
all over the
guests.
place
Look at
there.
that. Yeah.
I went crazy. Anyway, I wanted to say hi to you guys, and I'm gonna jump out, but
Oh, good. Well,
thanks.
thanks for
Kids.
coming in. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Mitch,
Good to
I-
see you. Yeah, that
I'm-
was nice. That was nice.
It's only 3:10 a.m. here in Finland, so I'm gonna jump soon out too.
Okay.
But I just wanted to let you know that today is a milestone day for me. 21 days without
man.
sugar, cigarettes, alcohol, or
Oh my
any of
God.
that crap.
Wow, Tuka, congratulations. You're doing a great job.
And so
We got music. We got
I just
yes.
thanks, man. I just had some few bacon strips. I was mentioning in the chat that I had some snacks, and they were bacon strips.
All
Hey,
right. Well, if you got a
Tuka.
snack, that's okay.
Tuka, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you quit coffee, you stopped alcohol, and
No,
Smoking.
What?
No, I didn't quit coffee, but everything else.
But you said also cigarettes, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't big smoker anyway, like a cigarette here, like social smoking.
All right, don't
could
give us the
say-
details. Just take
Here's
the
my
compliment.
question: Which is the hardest to give up?
Yeah.
Carbs.
Carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, carbs and wheat are the hardest.
Yeah, wheat is
And-
carbs. Yeah. Wheat is sugar. So yeah, sugar is definitely the granddaddy of
Carbs
all
and sugar.
addictions. Yep.
They are harder
think
than
so.
cigarettes or
Yep.
alcohol. So
Yep.
yeah.
Pat Ramirez
So-
says he has 7 kids. Oh God, what's wrong with you guys? You ever learn what causes that? You know? Oh man.
Hey,
Yeah.
Candy, I really enjoyed your video. It was really good.
Yeah, your videos are great.
Candy's got her mic muted because her kids were screaming.
My dogs are my kids now. My kids
Oh,
are
your dogs,
grown.
rather. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was your dogs. That's okay. That's
kids.
okay.
My babies are 30 years old. My kids are grown and out of the
Wow.
house.
Oh
you
man.
look so young.
You look so young.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you do look young.
Hey. No, I am 50, going on 51.
Nice.
Really?
But,
Wow. You're still
thank you.
young, man. You're still young at 50. I mean, when I look at 50-year-olds now, my kid, both my kids are older than you. So I mean, don't be old. Don't be old before you have to. I mean, I make jokes about being old. You know, I make jokes about it. It's kind of a shtick. You know, it's my thing. I'm the old guy. You know, but
should I say marry me, because I'm single and 46? So
Did you say what?
he wants to marry you.
marry me.
Oh,
Oh,
Candy
well.
has a very nice and supportive husband that tries all her
My
recipes.
husband loves me, but you know, those plural marriages, you know, they for the
Depends on
first
what state you
one.
live in. Yeah,
Now you guys are going to get me demonetized.
that's right. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
We do our best, Mitch.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those channels. They'll say, "Oh no, they're talking polygamy on there." Oh no, there's a keyword
Just
that's bound to
kidding.
kick their algorithm in the ass.
Yeah, Mitch, you don't have a chance. You're batting 1,000 on getting demonetized. in
I
these
know.
days.
I don't even worry about it. But with no cigar smoking, I wanted to see if maybe that was what was. Maybe
It's
they
an
figured
interesting
you know,
experiment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
smoking because they even put warnings up now when they smoke in a movie. You see up at the top: nudity, sex, disgusting, graphic,
You know,
violence, blood,
I
gore,
always knew-
and smoking.
I always knew they can check the audio with AI, but they must also be doing image recognition.
Yeah,
They
I'm
must.
sure
must.
they are. But when we're smoking cigars, we're talking a lot about cigars too. The word cigar is coming up
Yeah.
a lot in the conversation.
Stop saying it. We need
But
a,
they
we
have
need a, we need a
equated-
code. We need a code word.
But they have equated smoking in the movie warnings with other things like graphic sex,
Yeah.
blood, gore, and violence, and perish the thought, smoking. But yet, interestingly enough, if we're talking about smoking a joint, that's another story. That's perfectly acceptable. We want to legalize that everywhere. Everybody should be smoking pot, but don't you dare smoke a cigar or a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Very
world! What a world we live in. It doesn't make any sense half the time. One thing that Trump, a phrase that Trump used a lot in his speech today, were the words "common sense." He said that many times, and I was so happy to hear those words come, because that's what's missing in this world right now. Just common sense, and I say that all the time. Maybe Trump is a brother from another mother or something. And if that's the case, I was born on the wrong side of that family.
Okay, Mitch, I need to drop out. But
All right,
see you
man.
tomorrow. See
Okay.
you tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Tuka.
later, I don't know.
Tomorrow,
See you,
later,
ladies.
whenever.
I don't
Yeah. I don't even know what
Ladies.
day
Hi,
it is.
Tuka. Keep it up. You're doing good. Oh, you
Thank
need a
Take care, my
haircut.
friend. Hey,
Thank
Louis, let me get
Thank you.
that skull and crossbones off your
Oh,
head
no,
there. There you go. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize I had it in
It's
there.
okay. No, it wasn't. It's not like it was over my face or anything. It's this is all I got.
Yeah, those pictures you sent me were crazy, man. I enjoyed those. I wouldn't have recognized you. I wouldn't have recognized you.
I didn't watch any of the inauguration today. We were running around all day.
I think you
I
probably
have
would
to
have.
catch
You
up.
probably would have enjoyed it, and you
Oh,
might
yeah,
have
no,
been. Some of it might have pissed you off a little.
Watch it all. No, although I vote a certain way, I'm not really very, bothered by that kind of stuff.
I think if you're an American, when all the dust settles,
Mhm.
I think you'll be quite pleased with the direction things take, because I don't know,
Well,
no matter what you are, the direction the country takes.
Between you and I'm also a 41-year-old male, and I probably will do very well under President Trump.
I think you probably will. Who you waving at, Tina?
Papa,
Peter's lady.
Oh,
No.
hi. Hi, Peter's lady. Oh, wow. Good to meet you. What's your name?
Peter's muted.
Oh,
Oh.
Peter's
Oh,
muted.
that's Victoria. Sorry.
Hi, Victoria. How are
Victoria.
you? Nice to meet you. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
Why?
What's the question?
How the
Why?
hell do you put up with this guy?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
I know. Oh. I'm joking. We love Peter. We love Peter. Let me uncross my fingers. Okay, here you go. All right. No, we really do, Peter. And I'm joking. I hope she doesn't throw you out when this is over.
How come I get all the abuse from you,
Well,
Mitch?
I've told you more than one time, I only bust on the people that I like. If I stop busting on you, you need to say, what did I do wrong?
That's true.
As long as I'm busting on you, you know how I feel.
It's all good.
It is good. It is good. I'm looking through the chat. Don't let me stop you guys. Talk away.
Well, I was
Where's-
going to say a while ago when you were talking about moving to certain states. I live in Maryland, but I live on the southeast side. Most of the people north are Democrats, or our state is primarily Democrat, but most of the people in the southeast, in the rural area, in the little communities, we're all Republicans. So
But
I
that's
don't know
true.
how the state got, where the bigger cities are, Baltimore,
Yeah,
Annapolis.
it's the same way in New York. Yeah, in New
Same
York.
way
That's all
everywhere. It's the same way in every
Democrat.
state. Look at New York. Upstate New York's all red. Look at California. It's only Los Angeles and San Francisco, the big cities.
Where all the people are too, though. That's why.
Yeah, the United States of
Good
America is a
playmaker.
huge blob of red with a few tiny little blue dots, which are where the urban areas are, and they've got an equal or more competition.
And it is so cold here tonight. We're supposed to get down to like 8 degrees.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
Really crazy for us, which is not normal. I mean, we're normally around 30, average in January, but the next 4 nights are going to be below 10 degrees.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
polar thing, and that's why. Well, I mean, you're right next door to Washington D.C. where you are, so that's why they called. That's one of the
well,
reasons.
Where
You're
we
east.
are is I'm about an hour and 40 minutes southeast of DC. You have to cross back over the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah, but I know
And if-
exactly where you are. But when it's cold in D.C., it's cold where you are. As far as weather
Yeah.
goes, you pretty much have identical weather to what D.C. has.
And I'm only like 50 minutes from Ocean City, Maryland, if you know where that is.
Of course,
along
I'm
the
from
coast.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Well, I'm about 50 minutes from there.
Yeah, I mean,
We love
and,
Ocean City.
and I was a pilot in Northern Virginia when I got out of the Army. I was a flight instructor. I have flown over every inch of the Northeast United States myself, from Maine all the way into Virginia and West
What a
Virginia. I mean,
life.
I've been all over there. I know that area intimately. I
That-
can almost see the aviation charts in my mind.
That's a great life, Mitch.
Yeah,
Really, I know you say you've had struggles, in which I have had too. And with career and finances and the death of my husband recently, and just had to give up my home and just
Been
so
there
many
too.
changes.
Been there too.
But I've pretty much stayed with my carnivore. I'm going to say I'm 98% carnivore. I have a little hunk of dark chocolate with my coffee in the morning, just a little square. I can't seem to get away from that. I've tried, but
Well,
I
you know what?
figured
You
if
know what? Every morning, make it just a shade smaller, almost imperceptibly smaller, and see
Because
if you
I've
can't
done it for
whittle it
years.
down. Yeah,
It's like 90% dark chocolates. There's only in that little square. There's only like
that's not
two.
gonna hurt you any. And,
It's
and
only
there's
like 2 grams of carbs.
yeah,
But the
but it's
rest of my food today was bacon, uh, a chicken thigh, and 2 hamburgers. That was my whole day.
you're doing great, and there'll be some oxalates in that chocolate, but not enough that your body can't get rid of them, or you'll be fine. I mean, we shouldn't. If that chocolate doesn't lead you to eat a pound of chocolate every day, then you're okay.
No.
I don't worry about small amounts of carbs or things like that, as long as they don't trigger binges and throw you off your diet.
That
So you're doing great. You're
knock
doing great.
on wood. I really am. I never have been that big of a carb eater. I mean, only because I didn't know. But I've been on and off, Atkins and low carb and keto for, gosh, I don't know, 15 years. A lot like you, where you go off and then you catch
Yeah.
yourself and then
And
you
then
grab
you get
it and get back
disgusted.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I found Steve Studley's question that I was scrolling along. Let me address this. Is it a conspiracy that we are being poisoned, get them addicted, get them sick, get them medicated, do surgery, then bury them? That's the plan. Don't you agree?
That's food in America.
That's the plan. That's big food corporate America with their fabulously talented, biologically educated scientists that know the ins and outs of exactly what makes things more and more and more addictive. And
It's
yes,
amazing
that's-
how we got to this place. Isn't it amazing, Mitch? Like how we got to where we are with
Oh,
food in
yeah.
America.
Here,
So
hang on a second.
gradual. Go ahead. Tina, did you get any snow by you last today? We got 4 inches in New York.
we only got a dusting this time. Last week we got 14 inches.
Wow.
And
So you're
there's
probably
still
still digging
an
out of
inch
that.
or two on the ground, which is actually frozen because
Ice, right.
we're a tundra right now, just solid ice.
Yeah.
But the roads are all good here. Now, my son did get called up to northern Maryland, past Washington, D.C. It's called Frederick, Gaithersburg area. He got called up there to snowplow.
Okay.
So they got some, but no, down here we were lucky yesterday, just a dusting.
Yeah, we got like 4 inches yesterday. It was a little like dense, heavy, but it wasn't that much. But around 10 p.m. it stopped last night. I went out and shoveled right away because I knew the temperatures were going to drop. And if you don't shovel it right away, you get the ice and you can't. Then you can't do anything.
Our driveway coming up to the trailer on the farm is a quarter of a mile long.
Oh.
Then you come to the trailer. Then it's another quarter of a mile long when you get back to where the hunting place is back behind us.
Wow.
And it's all ice, where the snow is melted and then form the ice. And right now we've got swan, tundra swan. I mean, we must have 100,000 of them in the fields around us. It's quite something. I mean, I can hear them now coming and going, even though it's dark.
Wow.
They're very loud. They're very annoying, but they are beautiful. They are very beautiful. There was a man on the main road today. He was out there with his camera trying to take pictures of them.
What's that? Sand cranes?
Tundra swan.
Oh,
we
okay.
happen to be right in the migration. They come down, from Alaska and then come down Delaware, and we're right where this property is right on their line.
It's the big white swans that you see.
Yes, we must have 100,000 of them on the three fields around us, and it's quite a sight.
Oh yeah, I've seen like 2 of them in a lake, and they were very vocal. I can imagine
huge.
If there was 100 of them.
They're very huge. They're very big. And their necks must be 2.5, 3 feet long, and they're very loud. And then in the next week or two, the migrating of the snow geese will come in. So the swan will move out. They'll keep going south, and then the snow geese will come in. They're not quite as big, and they're not as noisy.
Man, I'm looking through the chat here, I've been quiet. And I've seen so many names that I haven't said hi to, so I'm going to do it in one fell swoop. All of you people that I didn't say hi to, I've just read your name. And every one of you, I've gone by your name in the chat. And hi, thanks for coming in. Good to see you, Sherry. I see Sherry Morgan is here. So many people. They're coming and going. I guess everybody's, tonight's a night that I'm sure a lot of people are excited. They're doing things. They're with friends. They're with family. It's been a day off. It's a holiday.
Back to
I'm
work
surprised
tomorrow.
we had as many people as we had here tonight. But it was fun. I'm gonna call it a night here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Been doing, believe it or not, an hour and a half already.
And on the football side of things, I'm glad the Philadelphia won, but I'm sad our
Yay!
Ravens lost.
That's my home team. Philadelphia. What the Eagles?
Eagles, they
Oh,
won.
good.
So they
Yeah,
move on to next weekend. They play Kansas City, I believe. But our Baltimore Ravens lost at a brutal. Some
sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I gave up on sports when I was a kid in Philadelphia.
but
I used to like. Well, I was never really a sports fan. But my grandfather used to take me to the Phillies games, to the Eagles, to the Warriors with Wilt Chamberlain when he was
wow.
before the Warriors moved out, to the West Coast. And
Well, I was blessed to grow up in a family full of sports. I was a marble champion
oh,
for the
okay.
state of Maryland for 4 years in a row
So
when
at
I
any
was a
rate,
teenager.
so I don't even remember what year it was, but the Phillies were in contention for the World Series. And we were all so excited, and everybody was so excited, and then they didn't even make it into the World Series. They didn't even get a chance to lose the World Series. And I said, "Oh, to hell with this. I can't be investing anymore." I was a young kid. I can't. I'm not interested in this stuff.
I love most all sports. I
Yeah,
enjoy
not
it
me.
all.
Not me. Well, listen, guys. I'm tired.
Okay, I'm gonna
And-
All
leave.
good, Mitch. All
And
good.
I got to be doing this again tomorrow morning at 8:30, and I have some work things I need to accomplish tonight too. So thank you, Peter. Thanks for coming in. Peter went dark. I don't know where he went because his window is still here. Thanks for coming in.
Candy is eating a giant piece of bacon.
Always good to see you. Look at
Jealous.
this.
My brisket.
Holy,
I am jealous. Look at that bacon.
that's not
No,
bacon.
this is my brisket.
Brisket.
Oh,
Wow.
brisket. Oh.
Look at that. Wow.
Is there a video coming out about the brisket?
I make video. I have tons of videos on my brisket.
Candy, what do your kids watch your videos? What do they think about your
I don't
YouTube
think
channel?
so.
Do they know?
I don't think they watch them. Kind of every once in a great while they might, but I don't tell my family to watch my videos.
And
That's
do
embarrassing.
your children eat carbs? Still, they do. Yeah.
They
Your
do.
kids. Yeah.
They eat carbs. I try to tell them, but
No,
And
what
my
are you gonna
husband
do?
does too.
Just wondering.
on
yeah,
and off.
You know.
Well,
You
do the
can
best
only
you
tell
can.
them, but
You do the best you
That's
can.
right.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
my husband
Good
on and off. He
night.
goes.
Good night,
Tina,
Tina.
thanks for
Good
coming in,
seeing you.
sweetie.
Hmm?
I was just thanking Tina
Oh,
for coming in. Yeah, she popped out. And thank you for coming in, Candy.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll have to
welcome.
for
I'll
having
have to
us.
start checking out your videos, okay?
They're really funny.
All right, sweetie.
It's her.
Take care. Take care.
got
Thanks
one
for
coming
coming in.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, Lewis,
right.
thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you. Bye bye, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. Take
see
care.
y'all later.
Okay. There we are. These things can go on forever. And I see that the attendance is starting to drop off a little, and I figure that I'm not the only tired one after. It was an emotional roller coaster. It really was today. It was a great day. It was a great day. I'm glad we did this tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night again, too. Holy mackerel. 2 live streams on 2 consecutive days. I must be out of my mind. All right, my friends. I know that I missed a lot of the chat. I know there were questions that didn't get answered. We got a lot of time tomorrow, a lot of online time. I'll concentrate on the questions and those things a little more when we're not talking about politics. I just heard my cell phone go off, and it looks like I have maybe somebody to thank. Sherry Morgan, Thank you for an epic night, Mitch. Bought me a coffee. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, as usual. Wow, wow, wow. I thanked Frank M., Deborah Weisgal, and Jerry Voitush for their coffees tonight. Thank you, guys. I'm set for coffee till tomorrow. So I had a great time. Enjoyed it. Got a chance to politic a little bit. Tune up for my run for the presidency in 4 years. Well, I'll be 82. Nah, too old. Sorry, I guess I can't do it. I wouldn't do that if my life depended on it. So with that, my friends, I'll play a little happy music for you. You can take a couple minutes, those of you that are left here, 95 of you. Say goodnight to each other in the chat. I will finish my coffee, the last few sips. Still hot. Thank you, Francine Bourgeois. And who do we got here saying goodbye? We have Steve Studley, Lori, William McCartney. I didn't say hi to you, I don't think. Ann, PLO7, good night to you. Aaron, good night. Claudia Burkick, and I saw another Burkick in there. Was that related to you? Lambs, how you doing, Lambs? Scotter, Tanya, Kitchen Witch, Ernie Earhart, Tom, Viking 442, Aunt B, Josephine C, Lewis L. Thanks for hanging in there through this whole thing, guys. It's Ivan Burkick. 2 Burkicks. Who knew? I got to find out if you guys know each other. Wow, that's incredible. Claudia and Ivan. Holy mackerel. What are the odds if they don't know each other? Mark Whistler, Nikki W., and Danny in Boston, and everybody else, Sandy Blythe. Good night, my friends. 8:30 in the morning. Be there or be square. And until then, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.